All right, we're going to talk about section 3.5. This is the last section in chapter 3 before our test. The test will be just after we get back from fall break. All right. Also, to save some time, I went ahead and did these problems, and I'll talk to you about them real quick. I want you to look at x and 55. If you look, they're right next to one another, therefore they are supplementary. So they're supplementary. We get x plus 55 equals 180, which means that x is 125. And also note that x and y are alternate interior angles. So now that we know that x is 125, we just set it equal to y, which makes y 125. All right, now, as far as these two angles right there, x plus 55 and 2x minus 15, those are alternate interior angles, so those are equal, and we get an x value of 70. All right, now, y and 114 are pretty easy. They're equal because they're corresponding. So y equals 114. And then the next one, x plus 12 and y. Those two angles are supplementary, so we add them together, substituting 114 for y plus x plus 12 gives us a sum of 180 degrees. So we get an x value of 54. All right, that's a little bit of a review of what we talked about before. Now, in section 3.5, you can read the objective and you can read the standards and all that stuff, but postulate 3.2, the parallel postulate, it says to any given point not on a line, there is exactly one line parallel to the given point. So, right there is the parallel line, and this is the original line L right there, which leads us to the fact that the triangle sum theorem. Now, we've probably talked about this already, and you've probably heard it in some of your previous classes, but the sum of the measures of the three angles of any triangle will always be 180 degrees. Tell you what, sometime, if you remind me, I'll show you how it works, how the proof is, but right now in the video, I'm not going to mess with that. Just know that the sum of the interior angles of any triangle is going to be 180 degrees. So, a couple things, other things you need to know. You need to know exterior angles. Now, in this particular triangle, angle 4 is the exterior angle, but angles 1, 2, and 3 are the interior angles. Why are 1, 2, and 3 interior? Because they're inside the triangle. Well, why is 4 an exterior angle? Because it's on the outside of a triangle. There you go. Now, one thing I do want to point out to you, and I'm going to circle this, 1 and 3. If you look, 2 is right next to angle 4, but 1 and 3 are not. They're far away. They're called the remote interior angles. Now, the reason why they're called remote technically means far away. Now, you're used to a remote being like a remote control on the TV or on your stereo, something you can operate, but you can operate it from far away. That's why it's called remote. A remote desert island or remote tropical island is an island that is far away. So remote means far away. So remote interior angles of a triangle are, in this case, 1 and 3 because they are far away from angle 4. Now, one thing you need to note about that, because angles 1 and 3 are the remote interior angles of angle 4, then the measures of angles 1 and 3 added together equal the measure of angle 4. So, we know two things. We know the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, but we also know the sum of the two remote interior angles equals the measure of the exterior angle, which in this case is angle 4. It's angle 4. All right, so I'm just going to throw an example hypothetically. Let's say that this measure is 60 and this measure is 50. Then that means that 60 plus 50 is going to have a measure of 110 degrees. So this angle would be 110. So those two angles added together equal that outside angle. All right. Now, I've got kind of a long example, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work it, and then I will come back in a moment and I'll explain it. Okay. I want to first start off by saying that the sum of the angles of this triangle right here that I'm going to highlight in yellow is 180 degrees. So measure of angle 7 plus 58 plus 65 equals 180, which means that the measure of angle 7 equals 57 degrees. Now, as far as angle 5 goes, these two angles, 7 and 5, are vertical, so therefore it also has a measure of 57 degrees. Then, and let me highlight again, this time I'll highlight the green triangle right there is 180 degrees. So we know that the measure of angle 4 plus 67 plus 57 equals 180. So the measure of angle 4 equals 56 degrees. Then we also know that angles 6 and 7 are supplementary. We could say the same with 5 and 6, but in this case, 6 and 7 are supplementary. So the measure of angle 6 is 123. Now, the last thing I'm going to go over with you is this. And I'm going to highlight this in a smaller color right there. That triangle that I just highlighted in pink. Let me undo that. There we go. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll tell you what I will do. I will just circle it.